Hey everyone, welcome back to some more Solo Dungeon. So, finally unlocked the Janitor last time around, and we're just going to be trying out a few different things. Because we do want to work on our goal and unlock the last few things of the oddity shop. We've settled on a really good ore comp, as well as a good resource farming comp to essentially feed into the chef and then boost your overall ore generation. It's a shame you can't like pinpoint uranium with it, but oh well. We should actually rename this resource farm, just so I can remember what it is. But yeah, so I think the first one we're going to be trying out is our progression build. So I've made a few changes. I've cut the blacksmith, put in 3 huntresses. We do need the warp gem that I actually forgot about. You can go on either of you guys. Doesn't really matter who. The gold multiplier being multiplied is less important. Actually, we'll put it on the janitor. Doesn't really matter where. It's not optimal just yet. Essentially, we're still prioritizing item find. Withering's going to be a priority no matter what, but also gold gain. And the main idea is it should still be fast due to the mechanics, because damage and everything isn't the important thing. It's more so just fine-tuning the resources we're getting along the way. So, like the trinket slots can be changed around, everything like that. The main gist is the janitor has replaced the Dark Lord and is our first hitter. So with the Sword in Space and Time, then the wizard still foretelling into the tavern owner clearing. With the janitor, we don't need to fight any of the enemy janitors, therefore we don't actually encounter any of the boss abilities, which are the real detriment. Probably just I'll save it for starters and then talk about it as we get into it. We'll pick up from where we left off in the Primal Lands, except the keys are wrong. But yeah, we'll just play it out a little while I continue to talk, and then I'll fix it up, and we'll see what we end up with FPH-wise. So yeah, we cut the blacksmith because we don't need to play defensively because we won't encounter any janitors, which we should see pretty soon. We have 3 huntresses plus the cooldown gem, so the wizard's foretellers on a 1-turn cooldown, which is fine because obviously you cast it. This, if we got a portal, would be the cooldown and then warp. So we can do back-to-back warping, which is a big thing. The only thing long-term is I know there's warping gems, and they're obviously what we want to replace everything with. Armor-wise, we've gone for the extinction plate because it does give the item find. You could probably... the more optimal one would probably be the... what's it called? Tangleheart? Because it gives withering. Because the general idea is you want to boost the Gravedigger's stats with uranium as much as possible. So whoever you're giving the shovel to, you want them to have the shield, the uranium armor. There's no uranium trinkets. I'm wondering if they'll ever get around to that. And what that leads to is where exactly are you going to position the warp gems? Because obviously the maximum should be every gem is a warp, except for you need the locksmith gem to make all the key costs 1, otherwise you run out of keys in the Primal Lands. And the cooldown gem, like I said, is necessary unless you run a 4th Huntress, but there's not really a slot because you'd have to cut the tavern owner, which doesn't quite work. Not quite as high as I thought it would be. Wonder why. Anyway, I will let it run, and we'll come back when it averages out. I am very curious, though. No. Boy. Because I didn't change the things. We're not actually picking warps. That's the issue. That's why it's so slow. But the general idea is whether or not we go for a gold comp versus just passively getting enough through progression. We still want healing fairies, we just want warps now. Anyway, so I'm going to let this run, and then we'll come back and see where FPH we end up as. I think 4,000 was what we were at before, so hopefully with the janitor it should be a bit higher, so we don't have to worry about their animations as much, or even them taking actions. Already at 6k, it's pretty good. Anyway, we'll see. Right, so it seems we've clocked out at 4,600, which is pretty decent. I'm not quite sure how to understand this warps per hour. Does this just mean within this hour, 3,000 floors of what I'm doing just through attacking, and then 1,600 floors are through warping. I don't think that's quite right, because just with straight clearing with the Phantasmal Claw, you get to like 2,000 floors per hour, so it doesn't add up. But anyway, decent improvement, still not getting to the peak though. We have to unlock the last of the oddie shops and find all the warping gems, which hopefully we got at least one we can check out. So what do we get? We got... oh, well that's underwhelming. We got one Bit Blade, which does help. We're on our way to 6, but nothing new aside from that. But we did get past 100 trillion gold. We can get the new treasure room. Nope, 500. My mistake. Bad. I guess I'm just gonna go back to grinding it. Is there anything though we want to tweak? We're mainly just going after gold, it looks like. Well, we could tackle plating, I suppose. For the most part, I would just want to use uranium plating on everything. Speaking of which, how much do we have? 242, so not quite enough. I believe it's like 50 per thing, isn't it? 100 for mythics. Ooh. Might go back to boss rush. Since we have the mock now, did I even make it? I should have made it. Yeah, we did. With mass cleanse, there's a gem which I did get off camera. I do want to check out this mine gem. Prevents MP drain. So I'm curious if this means it prevents spells costing MP. So the easiest way to check this out is just chuck you on you for a second and hop in. The janitor goes, our MP's green, so no, it doesn't prevent actual... oh, so what does it prevent? It doesn't prevent mana cost, it prevents mana drain. It's very curious to me, because I haven't come across anything that does drain mana. Do we get any other interesting ones? No, we still haven't seen the warp gem. I think that's going to be the last gem we have to get. Yeah. Do I make a variation? Okay, so I was talking about before was we've got our progression, and the idea being we would just swap out all the gems except for the Lockmaster and the Restless gem to warp gems, and so we'd want to swap the armor as well. And the shovel and everything. Withering would still have to stay capped, that's fine. But yeah, we just go for distance. That would be this A team. Then we'd also want another team that's suited for gold grinding. And that way we can obviously get the last few oddities. We need 1.4 quadrillion gold to get these last two. And then I guess we could also come up with a better item find comp, maybe? I'll probably do a gold comp. So we won't go for distance as much, but we will just try to maximize this, where is it? Not gold find, the other one, gold multiplier. So from 1.4 to however much we can get, along with the graveyard shovel. So give me a sec, I will see what comp I come up with. So I think this should do the trick. We just have to fix up the plating, and that way we'll hit the withering cap. Gold's already at 1.5, I think we can get higher. So I'll probably plate the 3 Huntresses, all their items with gold. The Tavern Owner with uranium to boost the multiplier on the Midas Sword the most. Well, it's 0.1, it's 0.5. If we put gold, I think is also 0.5, so actually gold on the Tavern Owner's set would be better. And then the Dark Mage will have uranium to boost the Gravedigger Shovel as much as possible. Anything else important? No, so we've just cut back, we're not warping, so that's why I swapped out the Wizard to a Dark Mage. But I will do the plating and then we'll go back through it. Not that I have the materials for it anyway, but gold plating is only 0.05. I thought it was 0.5. So we can actively see if uranium's better. So the tavern owner's gold multiplier, we're at 1.6 if we swap the shield over, because the dark mage doesn't give any gold. We're still at 1.6. If we give it to the tavern owner, we're now at 1.57. Okay, so the uranium boost is not enough to outdo the gold amount. That's really good to know. That means I don't have to waste the uranium on everyone else. So we'll plate everyone else with gold. For the dark mage, I decided to swap out the phantasmal claw and just use Noxon. It is slightly slower, but we are able to hit the withering cap easier. Well, almost. If we put the gem in, actually, it should be 90. Yeah, 90. Yeah, so I'll plate everyone else with gold, and we should get a sizable gold multiplier and a 0.77 multiplier to enemy stats. Don't know how to boost it any higher. The shield with the gem is better than just the radioactive rod. There's no point running a blade master, plus they have one less accessory slot. If there was a accessory to boost stats, then that would be the better thing, but I don't believe there is. I'm pretty sure we have them all. So yeah, so I'm just going to finish up plating, and then we'll see how much we can get from gold, essentially. Not bad, not bad. So 2.56 for a gold multiplier. I mean, quite good. I'm tempted to dump the rest of our gold and just max relics as much as possible. We should be able to get a few levels. 27,000. But we'll see what it's like starting from here. Should be able to manage. Why are you not using Noxon? Noxon's too low on the list, or I deleted it. One of the two. And I don't think I saved the comp. Okay, well, I just want to see how much gold first. So we get 800 mil per enemy. If I did my math right, that should only be 1,250 enemies to get to 1 quadrillion. Because it's 1,000 million. No. It's 1,000 and then another 1,000, so that's 10,000. But no, 100,000 divided by 800. I think I did it right. It's either 1,250 or 12,500. Either way, it's not a huge number, and it's really doable. Oh, yes. No, I'm completely off, because I use millions, not billions. So we got 3.2 from them, 1.5. So there's not really any consistency. So on the low end, we get 800. On the high end, we get 3.2. Alright, let me do the math again. Okay, that seems more accurate. So it'd take 312,000 enemies that drop 3.2 million, which this jelly should, to get to our goal. If we call one enemy per floor and we're doing, say, 2,000 floors, it's still going to be a few hours, unfortunately, but it should also scale as we obviously progress. I'm just going to fix up Noxon and obviously remake the comp, so I keep forgetting to save stuff. And we also should get some resources, finally. Yeah, unfortunate. So what was it? It was like Dark Mage, Heaven Owner, Huntress, which probably, well no, a Thief has one less slot, so I'm not going to sub them in. I was going to say to open all the chests. Anyway, I'll do the gear, and then we'll probably, well actually you'll probably see just the end of it, where we cash out and then use our gold. Right, so just a quick little check-in. You see our little gold counter here, we're almost at 1 trillion, so we can work out exactly, you know, how much gold we're getting per hour. So it looks like it'll be around 7 minutes. Always round up when you're presenting statistics. That way you don't oversell. So yeah, so we'll call it 7 minutes to make it nice and even. So 7 minutes to get 1 trillion gold. So if we do all the math, so we start at 1 trillion, or whatever, you can just do 1. Divide that by 7, so we're doing, what is that? 140 billion gold a minute. Or 8.5 trillion gold an hour. So every hour we get 8.5 trillion, and we need to get to 1.5 quadrillion. So, so we take 1500 and divide that by the 8.5, and it will take us a whopping 176 hours to meet our gold requirement. Now, that's assuming everything stays linear. We should theoretically be getting more gold every minute than we did the previous minute. So, fingers crossed, it doesn't actually work out to be 176 hours. Either way, we should get to Treasure Trasher, which will help speed things up, because the chest animation is slowing things down. Oh, we already saw a 6 billion drop from bosses, I think. But yeah, if we can get to... Well, actually, I'm not sure which one's going to be worth more in the long run. One thing, though, I do need to turn off ore, and I need to lower the healing fairy. There's all these things that cut into our timing when we don't need it. We could be upping our gold amount. So yes, every time an ore node appears, we don't get any gold from it. So a few things I could tweak. I'm probably going to stop once we get to 500 trillion for the Treasure Trasher perk, and then we'll fix things up. Anyway, I just thought that was interesting to watch and figure out.